We are a country, but we are a country of independent states. So we have a federal law infrastructure, but then each state has their own state law infrastructure. And then inside of state laws, you have county laws, municipal laws, and city laws. So compare that to China. Nothing overpowers the Chinese Communist Party. So if Xi Jinping passes a policy, he can literally force that policy down to the smallest village. But here in the United States, it's not that way. Federal law can be one thing, state law can be something totally different. So when you talk about immigration, and when you talk about the larger challenge that's happening right now, independent state governments, consider Florida and Ron DeSantis, right? Yeah. Independent states disagree with the direction the federal government is going in. Well, guess what that means those independent states can do? Pass their own legislation. That's completely different from federal legislation. And that's why you have this situation where Trump in Florida would be safe, but Trump in New York, a liberal state,
is different. Yeah,
he's in a courtroom, right? And even as we watch this happen, it starts to make us have to ask some really uncomfortable questions, Lou. What are our individual rights as Americans if our legal freedoms are different from state to state? How is it that if I do something in Florida, I don't have to worry about any legal ramifications, but if I do the same thing in New York, now I can end up going to jail?
Yeah, like if you carry open carry or you buy a gun in Florida is different from, obviously, like if I get caught with a gun here, you get 3 to 5 years in in state, prison or whatever,
yeah, Rikers Island. And so a gun is an easy one, right? Because guns are such a hot topic. People freak out about guns all the time. Let's just talk about a freaking stick, dude, a baton. If you carry a baton in your backpack, just a hard stick in Texas, you're fine. Somebody mugs you, you can defend yourself with a baton, no harm, no foul. If you carry a baton in California, you can be arrested for the intent to carry out assault with a deadly weapon.
Yeah, it's pretty.
And that's just a stick, dude. That's not even a gun. There's no registration, no background check, no nothing needed. You literally can't carry the same things in your backpack between state to state. So what we're seeing on a large scale, on a national scale, is a symptom of what we're also seeing on a micro scale. Just like you and I can't behave the same way between Arkansas and Connecticut, you and I are going to see different court systems in both states. We're going to be tried by by judges who have different opinions in both states. When you start to project that onto a federal issue like immigration, Florida doesn't want to take immigrants. New York wants to take immigrants. So New York and the federal liberal government force Florida and Texas to take immigrants. Well, Texas and Florida are like, you can't force us to do something against our state law. So we're going to change our state law and we're going to fund the deportation of these immigrants to your state, which then causes a crisis in the liberal states, right?
In those areas, yeah.
And then what do they say? And then the federal government that aligns itself currently with liberal states blames Texas and Florida. Well, if we had a conservative government right now, they would blame New York and Connecticut and California. So we are literally, it feels like middle school, dude, because it's just as ridiculous as middle school ever was.
It is.